story is called Red Roses. One night, there was a babysitter who was babysitting for her neighbor's child while they were away for the night. After she put the child to bed, she went downstairs to watch the television, and there was an alert saying to lock all your windows and doors because the killer Red Roses was on the loose. But she didn't pay attention to the TV, and she switched the channel. And about 5 minutes later, the phone rang, and a voice came on. Red roses, I'm in your world. She thought it was one of her friends prank calling her, so she didn't pay any attention to it. So she went back down, and then the phone rang again. Red roses, I'm in your continent. This time, she thought maybe this could be serious. She stood over the phone and waited to see if it would call again. And it was 3 minutes in and no phone call came, so she turned around to walk away and the phone rang again. Red roses, I'm in your country. And this time she got really afraid, so she unplugged the telephone and she went around all the downstairs windows and she locked them and the doors. And as she started to go up the stairs with her cell phone, it rang again on her cell phone. Red roses, I'm in your state. And she called 911 and she said, there's someone coming in my house and they're calling me and they won't stop and I think someone's after me. And then there was static on the other end. Red roses, I'm in your neighborhood. 4 blocks, 3 blocks, 2 blocks, 1 block. And there was a knock on the door. And she ran to the child's room because she had remembered that she didn't lock that window. And she opened the door and the child wasn't there and the windows were open and the blinds were fluttering in the wind. And before you could say Red Roses again, she was stabbed repeatedly in the back to death. And Red Roses picked up her body and put it in the child's bed. Ew! And sprinkled red roses all over her body. And the child was never found.
That's beautiful.
Who's next?
Alright, so tonight's story is called The Hitchhiker's Object. So there are stories about a certain kind of hitchhiker. They only ever appear at night on quiet roads, seeming to flicker into existence in the very edge of headlights, never carrying a sign, always with an expression of deep despondency on their faces, swathed in a heavy coat and long pants, usually with gloves. If you stop, they will seem cordial enough, polite, but hardly chatty. They will assure you that the next town or city along your route will be a fine spot to leave them. Normal enough, unless you try to kill them. They die easily enough. But look under their clothes and you will see that their skin is marred with lines of scars, forming repeating patterns that are unsettling to look at, and even more unsettling in the context of their skin. They have no wallets, no identification. If you slice their belly open, however, they're different inside. There's no blood, no muscle, only a hollow cavity containing a single object. The object varies. Examples include a single coin, heavy and golden and engraved with runes nobody could ever decipher. A diamond gem with fractal edges that slice bare flesh into ribbons. A small vase, quite unbreakable, that smells of the ocean and is always damp. Once you possess a hitchhiker's object, you'll find yourself always driving the quiet roads at night. You'll never mean to, but somehow you just will. The lure of possessing a second one will hum quietly in your head. You'll strain to catch sight of a figure appearing in your headlights. Try to resist the impulse to stop, and sometimes you might, but sometimes you won't. You'll try telling yourself that this is just a normal person on an adventure, someone who ran out of gas. The logical part of your brain will scream at you what you're doing. You'll smile and nod, and they'll get into your car, and you'll slowly, casually reach under the seat, in your pocket, or across to the glove box. And that's it. Alright, so who's next?
White chocolate, 2 ounces of cream cheese softened, 2/3 cup of finely ground speculoos cookies that you can find at Trader Joe's, or graham crackers. I don't know how to say that name.